Pickaxe.
Hello, this is Arnold, and welcome to YOMP! It's me, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and we're here to discuss certain movies in the old movie podcast.
Oh my god. It is an honor, Arnold. It's so nice to have you here.
Thank you, Booth. I'm so happy to be here. All the way from California. Yeah.
Incredible.
Oh my god, Mark! I love you so much.
Hello.
Hello. Well, unfortunately, this week we don't actually have Arnold Schwarzenegger. He had to jet off back to California.
Away. Back to his donkeys.
It's donkeys.
Yeah.
Oh.
But instead, don't worry about it because we've got Mark Hulmes.
Hello, it's me.
Of High Rollers fame.
Yes.
Bloody hell. We are honoured to have you here talking about such a film.
I hope you're ready for a lot of dumb voices. There's going to be a lot
I am so ready.
I know you are. I know you are. You're my favourite.
You are such a joy, honestly.
Oh God,
Thank you.
You got to keep it light-hearted in here, otherwise we just give up. We give up halfway through. We just start going on about
talking about tea and cats.
I mean, to be fair, I have got a really nice cherry Bakewell tea at the moment.
Oh, cherry Bakewell tea.
Yes, Yorkshire Tea have brought out cherry Bakewell flavour. It's not for everyone, but I did do.
Oh my goodness!
I took a pilgrimage across town to get it the other week, and it was worth it. It was definitely worth it.
I feel like that's such a northern Yorkshire Tea have made cherry Bakewell tea, and I've popped down shop to get it, and it's really good.
It's really good.
It's really good. It is.
It's lovely.
I had the what was it? The
caramelized biscuit.
Yeah. So that was last year. Really good. Really good.
Yum. I'm a big fan of me flavoured tea at the moment. That's my thing.
It's getting cold now, so
I've been drinking it through the fucking 30-degree weather. I'm just like, I'm really dying for a cuppa. You know what?
That's what
to
I
be
want.
fair, it's not that hot up here in Blackpool because it very rarely is.
It's been sweltering where we are.
Yeah,
it's been horrible.
My apartment has it's a very lovely room, but it has these giant windows and there's no ventilation, and I just bake in here. It's just like
I've got too much ventilation. I'm ventilated. I've got too much ventilation in it, but oh my gosh, it has been wonderful watching a film with a cup of tea. I did actually stop I watched it in the afternoon, which is not my normal movie watching time, but I wanted to be able to take it in. So I put it on in the afternoon and made a cup of tea and sat down and watched The Terminator from 1984.
What a film, man.
This was one of G's choices, which, to be fair to G, we have had quite a few decent films that have come up in the run.
Oh, high praise.
Yeah, because normally I'm like, G, your taste is shit. What the fuck are we doing here? I love having this podcast. Oh my God, because we have such opposing styles of film that we watch, right? And it means that we sort of share things with one another that we wouldn't normally be watching. And but yeah, so I mean, it's always nice to have something that people aren't going to go, what the fuck is this?
I've not fucking heard of this weird film.
That old Terminator.
It's my weird films that everyone's like, what the actual shit is Sophie on about this time?
Chainsaw Killers on Booba Lake,
Yes.
Well, G does have Hollywood chainsaw hookers on her secondary list. I saw it.
I do. So that will be one eventually. But yeah, Boof has some she loves the in the nicest way possible, some of the most bottom of the barrel films I've ever seen in my life.
I was shared something in my stream yesterday, right? It was a Tumblr post, okay? And I think it was Beth. She said, I saw this and thought of you, linked it, and it was like, you'll have your friends who make you watch a movie, and it's a 2-hour long movie, and you'll feel every second of it. But then you get your friends who it feels like crawling naked on cobblestone through every second of the film. I'm like, yeah, that one's me.
Mark, I made her watch The Greatest Showman.
Okay. Yeah.
She fucking hated it. She hated it with a passion. She also hates a lot of really popular movies because they're just not for her. She just...
Yes, and that's fine. You know, we all have our thing. Like,
yeah.
I feel like I would, I think Boof and I's movie choices and sort of appeals... Taste would be quite different. I am like such a basic bitch. I am such a vanilla, like I love me turn brain off, eat popcorn, big explosion, happy.
Oh, wow.
Make me happy. And
so you must have loved this, right? You must have loved the Terminator.
Well, now one thing I'm interested is you chose the Terminator and not Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Yes.
I would love to know, because for me, T2, Terminator 2, one of the greatest films. Like, it is in my top 10. Absolutely. It is one of those movies I can watch again and again. Even today, it still looks great. The effects still look great. Like, it is an incredibly well-paced film. The Terminator is definitely, I'm like, that's an interesting choice because it is amazing, but I do think it is a weaker film.
Yes. It's one of the ones where the sequel is definitely better than the prequel, which is like, you know, I mean, it's rare because I'm not
also with Aliens. Aliens, and then like I think both are really good, but Aliens is it's more action packed in comparison to the first.
You don't feel it. I feel like Alien, great film, one of the most incredible films, the set design, everything else about it, like so unique, so original at the time. But it is quite slow. It has that kind of slower pace that sort of older movies tend to have. And there's quite a lot. Some of it's well done. Like some of it is slow on purpose to create this kind of brooding atmosphere and that sort of, you know, the long shots of the ship in space of the Salasco and stuff. Whereas obviously Aliens, you know, they go from horror to action movie. And I feel like Terminator has the same thing. Like the first one is a slasher movie, basically. It's a sci-fi kind of slasher movie of a relentless killer that can't be stopped.
It is, isn't it?
2 is the action movie, right? Like it's a lot more like, you know, gunplay and back and forth. Whereas I feel like, so again, it's that switch from horror to action.
Well, it's kind of like with Halloween, like the first one is like, and then the second one is like, I think a lot more enjoyed and a lot more liked. And any person that I've said that we are watching Terminator and they're like, oh, which one? First one or second one? And then everyone will say, oh my God, Terminator 2 is incredible. It is just the best. And the reason why I chose this one is because I know that people like the first one. I know people love the second one, but I want to see what makes it not weaker, but just different to the success of the second one. You know what I mean? There's a big gap in years, right? You've got 1984 for this one, and then I think the second one is in the 90s, 93 or something, like a bit later on. 91. So technology, you know, a lot more different, you know, there's a lot of stop motion in this one, and I think they made technology for the second one, right? James Cameron, like specifically for for a lot of the special effects, especially with the T-1000 and stuff like that, there was a lot of propriety or like new technology that they developed or researched in for that. I think as well, like you know, and it's also things like, you know, Arnold was still quite a new actor in the first one, and you know was very much playing the stoic roboticness, which obviously plays again in T2, but there is a little bit more of that like human nature to the second one, where he's, you know, a more protector and like is slowly, you know, doing all the silly lines with like the kid and stuff like that, you know, which iconic.
adds like a little bit of levity to the film that obviously this one doesn't have, because it is a slasher. Is Sarah being pursued and hunted down and everything else. And I also think that the second one, there's a lot more world building in the second one where we get to learn a little bit more about Skynet. We learn a little bit more about, what's going on, why these things are happening. We learn more about, Sarah's already an established character. So like her whole arc with the mental hospital and everything else has a bit more of an impact with us and things like that as well. So I think first movies, when they're setting up a brand new concept, and Alien had the same problem where you have to do a lot of work, but you can't, right? You can't info dump on the audience. You can't do too much in that first one.
Yes.
So you have to do a lot of tell. Whereas I think in the second movie, they can do a little bit more show and sort of let things naturally fall into place, because they're kind of going in with like, well, most people are going to know stuff, so we don't need to go into it as much detail. Just enough for anybody who's a brand new watcher who doesn't know. Like, we're still going to explain what Skynet is. We're still going to do the intro of like, Skynet in the future becomes self-aware and eliminates all of humankind, and then they send back the Terminator. They do the little. That sounded like very much like Lois from Family Guy for some reason.
It was very Peter Griffin.
Yeah. Hey, Lois.
Hey, now the Terminators.
They're sending Skynet to send the Terminators back. Oh, geez, Lois. It's very.
Oh God.
So I think that is a factor as well. Why maybe the second one is a little bit. I don't want to say stronger, but is more well loved, right?
I think it is stronger, but not because they didn't try. It's just like you said, the limitations of tech, limitations of maybe runtime as well. The second one is longer, because I did watch the second one. Yeah, budget is a huge one. Huge one. Like the budget for this was 6.4, I think, and then the second one was like 100 million.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
it's quite a jump. It's quite
completely
a jump.
Night and day. But yeah, I do like the second one more because I think people know it more, and it's like more action packed. And I like that Arnie is, spoiler alert, actually the good, the good
Terminator.
guy.
He's a Terminator. Oh my God! Spoilers.
Oh my God!
He's a Terminator.
Whoa.
But yeah, it's quite a nice
Cyberdyne systems.
It's such a good plot twist, right? Because I think it's just brilliant. Like, he does it well in the first one. Like, I like that he's the killer, the slasher, Terminator, in the first one. But I like what you said. It feels a bit more human. Yeah. In the second one, and again, it gives him a bit more time to shine.
He had more acting experience by that point as well, right? So he could lean in, like, and the iconic lines of like "Hasta la vista, baby," and I'll be like, stuff like that really comes through so much better once he had a bit more of that experience. In the first one, he's still like, what was it? He had done like Hercules in New York and probably not that much else at that point.
Conan?
I think maybe Conan as well. Yes, in fact, I was looking it up to get some interesting facts. It was delayed. Filming was delayed because Schwarzenegger's commitment to Conan the Destroyer in 1984.
Interesting.
So yeah, he was working on that as well. Although also it says here that because of the delay, Cameron had found time to work on the scripts for Rambo: First Blood Part 2 and Aliens. So actually worked on the script whilst delayed for Terminator.
Because there's like quite a few actors in this that end up being in Aliens, in Aliens, right? There's like Bill Paxton and the android guy. I mean, Bill Paxton is such a small role in this.
Lance Henriksen. He's like he's one of the punks at the beginning, right? He's man, like,
every time I watch this with my friends, they all go, Bill Paxton.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Did you guys enjoy Arnie's cock at the beginning?
I loved it.
I forget about that as well every time. I'm like, oh.
Mate, I was like, we were watching it, and then I was like, wait a minute. Did I just see Arnie's cock? And then I was like, to Joe, is that his cock? And he's like, oh no, it's probably prosthetic. And I like Googled it, and it was like a really conspicuous fucking Google, because it's like, who's that? Arnold Schwarzenegger's cock?
You should see my search history, Jim.
But it was because with anything that was filmed back then, you got a CRT TV or whatever, and it's pixely and fuzzy and whatever, you're not going to see it. You're not gonna see it, and you didn't see it. But like the Blu-ray versions, that boy is in full swing. You can see everything.
Yep. It is fully out there.
Yeah, it was really funny.
A thing which tends to not to happen so much in these more modern movies, or as actors get bigger and more famous. It's just like, no, I don't want to have my penis on display, actually. Please keep my penis out of this.
I think he was like more like fine with it because first of all, starting out, second of all, he was Mr. Olympia. So he's like, I'll show my cock. I don't care.
I got a big ass. I got a big dick. I'll show my big dick.
I got a beautiful body. I'll show it to the world. I don't give a shit.
He went to he did a series of films where he went to Rio and he was just like harassing and sexually assaulting everybody there, and it was just on video, and he's grabbing their asses and he's. I will link you to something, G, where they watched it on Red Letter Media, and
I think with Arnie, like I love Arnie movies. Like I've watched them all my life, and he is one of those things where, and he I think he's even had like statements where he's come out and said this and stuff. Like he was not a nice dude, and he kind of knew that, and because there was also some allegations against like his secretary or like his personal assistant or something like that. But he later in his life he was just like, like I was a terrible person. Like I should not have done those things. And he did seem to sort of try and course correct at least, but obviously it doesn't excuse doing these awful things and things
but at
like
least
that.
You try to recognize it, I guess. And I mean, I didn't have any idea about this stuff, but geez,
it's a shame, right? It's a shame because you get these beloved movies and you're like, Ronnie, funny voice man, and then but the stuff in Rio, and then there was some other stuff I think. Again, like this all needs to be source checked and fact checked. Like
with
this
anything,
is stuff I heard. I don't know. But I was actually just looking it up because I didn't realize he did. So this was 1984. Commando was the year after in 1985.
I fucking love that movie. Jesus.
Yeah, and then he did like Raw Deal, Running Man, and then Predator. And I think then that's when you're kind of getting into like 1988. He did like Twins. So like you think of all of those movies before he did T2. So he just did so, and like was starting to do comedy, was doing action, was like doing more comedy pieces. No wonder like that performance is so improved upon between the two movies.
Because he's like, I mean, bless him. He's not the greatest actor.
No, not at all.
Like he's but he's just like with Sylvester Stallone, and Sylvester Stallone has really good moments.
Just a game.
He was waiting for that. Matt was waiting for us to mention Sylvester Stallone.
What are you talking about, me? You're talking about, I hate that Arnold guy. We had a rivalry in the 90s. Is G dead? Oh, I thought I killed G.
Freaking Eddie just dropped everything.
G just collapsed from laughter.
I did. I ascended. That was brilliant. I've never heard your Sylvester Stallone impression.
I did it like there was a series of things when I was doing videos with Hat Films, and it would make like Trot really laugh, but then I did it too much, and now he just gets really annoyed. He's like, oh Sylvester Sly, would you just fuck off? And I'm like, hey, Chris Trot, what are you doing?
Oh my god, you do it so well.
All you have to do is you just sort of dislocate your jaw and like hang it to the side, and then that's kind of it.
That's it. That's how you do it.
How many Sylvester Stallone movies have we watched? We did First Blood.
Yeah.
And I think that
we did Stop All My Mom Will Shoot.
I was going to say Stop All My Mom Will Shoot. I was like, did you cover that one?
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there was any other ones.
I think there's
Cliffhanger.
We haven't seen that, but that's
that is a film that I remember.
That is a film. That is a film.
That is a film. Because they had the like whole 90s rivalry thing. Like they were like, they were duking it out like in Hollywood, basically.
Oh, yeah, that was one of the things with it was either Twins.
Yeah, it was Twins, I think. It was
where his manager or Sylvester said he was interested in doing it, and then Arnie wanted to do it because he knew he was interested in doing it. And then in fact, like Sylvester Stallone had no interest, and he just duped him into
doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I feel like, you know, again, Twins was like the first comedy film, and like it was like a big step up for him to be able to do, you know, because then that would lead to him doing things like Kindergarten Cop and you know, a lot more of the sort of like funny stuff, like Last Action Hero, like one of my absolute favorite films, like Arnie films, Last Action Hero. That's also
the Christmas one, right? With the
no, that's Jingle All the Way. So Last Action Hero, Last Action Hero is the one where he plays an action movie like character in a movie, and a kid goes into the movie and meets this like, you know, it's like a parody of Arnie basically. And then he comes out into the real world and he meets himself as an actor, and like it's very silly, but it's like it's such a funny spoof of that era of action movies. Like there's so many, like all the stupid one-liners that he normally says, like they parody all of that, like the over top gunfights, like the, you know, it's very
when does he do Batman
silly. As Mr. Freeze?
Oh my god, talk about one-liners. What was it? Arnie Batman. It was Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin, 1997.
So this was well after T2.
Yes. Yeah.
Jesus, that has a 3.8. Oh my god. And then 11% on Rotten Tomatoes. Holy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh shit, I didn't realize this. Arnie was offered the role of the main character in The Rock, but turned it down, which was as Nicolas Cage ended up doing. One of my favorite films.
The one with Sean Connery and
escaping from Alcatraz.
We need to keep a tally of how many voices Mark does in this. It's so good.
I think we're up to 4 now.
Yes. Well, we've got Peter and Lois. We've got Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
We've got Arnold Schwarzenegger, and now we've got Sean Connery. So that's 5.
Your best. Losers complain about their best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
Oh my
That's one
god,
of my favorite lines.
Fucking tastic.
Seriously. Oh my god.
This is a bit of a detract from it, but I did a Call of Cthulhu LARP where my character was basically Sean Connery's character from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade meets his character from The Rock, and then I was also a secret Russian communist, so I also put The Hunt for Red October in there, and I basically just played 3 Sean Connerys at once. I did the voice, I was like dressed as like
full Sean Connery.
Full Sean Connery. I was dressed up like Henry Jones from Indiana Jones, so I had like a little sort of tartan tweed suit on, and like I grayed all my beard, and like I grayed my hair because it was brown at the time.
Do you ever hear that theory that Sean Connery in The Rock is like James Bond?
Yes, like I have, because it does make sense, because he is like a spy for British intelligence and things like that. And it does make sense. Like,
it's a pretty cool theory. I've seen like a video on it, and it's like, I'm like, what the hell? This is awesome, dude. But yeah, so with the Terminator, so the 1984 one. So we typically like go through the movie. We don't have to do it like in any like, this scene, this and this. We can just discuss it overall. But like he comes in from the future, and then there's another guy who comes in, Reese.
Kyle Reese, played by Michael Biehn,
who does not make it to the second one, sadly. But it's so funny that like John Connor sends his dad to bang his mom.
Well, you would too if you had to. If that was how you knew that you came about, and you had to.
He's got to make it happen.
I'm gonna send everybody to go bang my mom.
No.
Does anybody want to bang my mom?
You cannot do that.
Yes,
she'd
love
from
it.
The future.
No, she'd love it.
Oh my god.
Gee, you've definitely seen this, right? Where Michael Biehn in the Terminator is the inspiration for Snake in the original Metal Gear.
What? No, I thought Kojima really loves what's his name? Little China. Kurt Russell. Yeah.
So there was a bunch
Russell.
of them, right? So like Kurt Russell in Escape from LA. That's obviously like Snake Plissken is the main, and like the visuals and stuff like that. But I just put it in the Discord as well. So the original NES cover for it is based on Kyle Reese from the Terminator as well.
Holy shit. That's That's awesome.
Yeah, right. Like it's rad. Like, and that was the original cover art for the NES.
That's amazing.
Metal Gear, the original Metal Gear.
Yeah, there is so
fab.
I've noticed there's a lot of inspiration from like because the dark synthwave music takes a lot of inspiration from this genre of like
movie.
There's like a song, you know, I can never remember how to pronounce this right. Perturbator, I can't.
Yeah, I can't pronounce it either.
Yeah, there's a song called "Humans Are Easy Prey," and there's literally the quote of Kyle saying the thing about the Terminator, how
it will not stop.
Yeah, it will not stop until you are dead. I'm like, what the fuck? I can't believe that's from the Terminator.
Well, the Terminator was such an influential movie, right? Like it was this whole new level of like sci-fi horror, I feel like.
Yeah.
They introduced these new concepts of like, this like unstoppable machine from the future being sent back to kill you. Like it was like a real early sort of like horror time travel movie.
It's because I never thought of it in the way that I came to the conclusion yesterday and that you mentioned about it being essentially a slasher film.
Yeah,
it's quite interesting because it is essentially a slasher film. He is a Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees, you know, type of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't think of it as a very good slasher.
It's not a very good slasher,
because
but it has the elements in there.
It borrows elements of it, I think, yeah.
It's just in the sense that he is just killing people, right?
Oh, that's because it's just mindless killing, right? But I mean, to him, it is mindless killing, but there is but
it's not very inventive. The thing that I like about slasher movies is that you do get inventive kills. That's the joy about like. That's why
gross,
people,
over the top, gruesome death.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Let's just go wild, just kill people in different ways. Like, and even Halloween, like, okay, and there's all these things. There's so many ways that a person can die, but in Terminator, it's just like
because you like your violent films and you like the violent prosthetic special effects that comes with that.
Yeah.
Like in that Nicolas Cage movie where they're on the road, what's it called? The David Lynch film.
Oh, yeah. That one.
So when that guy's head gets fucking knocked off, it was like...
What the fuck was it? I've forgotten the name of it now. I've got a headache, but there's somewhere in there. It's rattling around as the title.
Yeah. you like interesting prosthetic...
you like the craft of it, the seeing how they make it happen and the special effects and everything else and how realistic it can look.
Arguably, the special effects and oh my god, wow!
That's the main thing that I do enjoy and appreciate is all the practical effects that are used, especially. So I'm very much like. All the way through the film up until you get proper like skeleton Arnie robot and there's the stop frame animation and there's the really good puppeteering of everything and that's when the threat kicks in for me. Like that's when I start feeling it most because it's like, oh, Reese is dead, what are you gonna fucking do? And it's genuinely there's a little bit more peril there rather than everyone's got a gun.
But it's that idea of like, especially in that first movie, a lot of it is just Reese and Sarah get in a car and run away. Terminator shows up, they get away, run away again. And there's a lot of it. And then I think, when you start to see the endoskeleton and like, Arnie's like pulling the flesh off, he becomes more of a supernatural threat at that point. He's not just man with gun. Even though we know he's a robot, like he doesn't look it and he doesn't, he's still just going around shooting people. But when he becomes something more than a man, and becomes this supernatural threat, this scientific threat, that's when it becomes more dangerous. Yeah,
supposedly when he gets shot, I think like there's like a, did you know? So he gets shot in the heart and that's when he starts to deteriorate. His skin starts to like rot off as well. And his flesh gets all weird and like he's wearing it's so funny, the mask of his own face, and it looks so weird, right?
But it actually looks very good in comparison to a lot of prosthetic face impressions of the time. Like, actually genuinely is decent.
Oh. At the time, I think people were terrified of this. Like when he's like, you know, got the red eye and like pulling, like, you know, cutting the flesh off and stuff like that. People were freaked out by it because for the time, I think it was really, really good.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, you've got what was it? The scene, that girl with the Walkman made me laugh. Like, she was
Ginger.
Like anything she did, Walkman. But that was a product placement. It had to be right.
I love that. I mean, the fact that I think he turned the music up for her when her boyfriend was banging her. I think it was him that turned the volume up on the Walkman.
I didn't even realize that if that actually happened. Oh,
the fact that she didn't play music like for anyone else, it was just for her, which is great.
Well, she was obsessed. She's like in the middle of sex, getting railed.
You
with
get that
Walkman
Walkman on, yeah.
You should actually try it. Come on, it's immersive.
Come on now, immersive.
Also,
real immersion.
We're having a discussion about Sarah Connor's hair last night, and Joe was like, "Oh, that's a perm," and I'm like, "No, it's not a perm. It's a mullet." Apparently, there's a word for a female mullet, a femullet or something, or femullet or something like that. I was like, "Oh, okay, that's interesting."
I love the conversations about Sarah Connor's hair, Linda Hamilton's hair.
Well, I was like,
it's beautiful.
Ginger's got a perm.
Ginger's is iconic.
Yeah, it's just kind of like the 80s, like kind of big hair, isn't it? It's not really
because a perm is like curly hair, but then you can have like the shaggy mullet.
Yeah.
A perm is just putting like curl where there wasn't curl before. So you can just have a loose perm.
Yeah.
So I guess that's what it is. Yeah, maybe a very loose perm.
Loose perm.
Also heard like cooking up a feast after sex with the
again,
sandwich.
Try it, G. She's got everything right. She is, but she doesn't like Pugsley the iguana, which I love.
Yeah, that's a downside for you.
Boy.
Points lost.
Points lost. Yeah.
He's just hanging out. He's just having a good time. He's just his own little guy. I want to know what happened to him.
He's just chilling.
He's fine. He's just chilling.
He's still alive today. That's something I say every time I watch anything where there is an animal actor. I say to everyone, they're still alive. They don't die.
Keep yourself happy.
Yeah.
They are forever immortalized in the film.
They're great.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
But yeah, so we've got Arnie's there. Kyle's there, he's trying to find her, and like Arnie's like killed 2 Sarah Connors at that point, and she's like, what the fuck?
I think it's funny to watch the film back now, and like, you know, I grew up in an era of things like phone books and like things like that, and I was like, this wouldn't work today.
Yeah.
Like, you can't make this film today, because he'd just be like, Google Sarah Connor, found the right one.
Do you know the thing that I was
sad.
Incredulous about was the fact that all the pages were still in the phone book.
Yeah.
And unmarked.
Yeah.
And
in LA,
and also,
no way.
And also that there was in the club there was a phone.
Mm-hmm.
How is that? That
happens a lot in movies. Anytime somebody goes to a bar or a club,
there's a phone back there.
There's a phone in there, but like, how the frick can you
think
hear
about
anything?
it. Well, yeah, how can you hear anything? But it does make sense, because like people would need to call like cabs and stuff like that. You know, you wouldn't have had your phone on, but how are you going to hear anything?
Especially right in the middle. Like, I get it, like back, like near the toilets maybe. But they've in the past 2 films that we've watched where there's been one. I think there was one in Transers, G.
There was, yeah.
A phone in the middle of a club, just stuck to a pillar, and it's
That's,
like, okay, but you're within
happen.
earshot of the band or whatever.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's so funny.
That club was, it looked cool.
The Tech Noir one?
Tech Noir.
Yeah, so one of my favorite bands is called Gunship, and I've noticed that he takes a lot of inspiration from like Terminator and that style of tech, dark synthwave type music, and it's really interesting to see where they like get their inspiration from. But yeah, really cool club. I really like a lot of the clothes and the fashion in this, but that's just some 80s fashion like really hits and some like really misses. Like I really like Arnie's jacket and like
well they go with a bit dark, like, you know, because in Terminator 1 he's a bit more sort of like dark punks, he gets it off the punks, and then in like the second one he's got the more biker appearance, and I think that like, and like Kyle is like literally, he looks like a hobo, he's like grabbed clothes from whatever.
Well, he's literally grabbed them from the hobo.
From the hobo.
Yeah.
And then like Sarah is just this like preppy 80s girl, you know, like it's a really nice kind of palette of different outfits. Because when you get into the second one, it feels more cohesive, but also kind of a bit bland. Because like, you know, the young John is like wearing sort of dark grays and blacks. Arnie's wearing black. Sarah's wearing like grays or army fatigues.
Especially in like LA. You know, like, and it's
because he's meant to be like a little punk kid, right? He's like a kind of like little goth shitbag. But yeah, like his Arnie's outfit in the first one is so much more like, there's almost like a hint of medieval to it. Like,
because of the spikes. Love
it.
No, it's really good. I liked a lot of the outfits and the set designs, and it never felt like I was watching something that was on a set. There are some movies that, when you're watching it, you're like, this looks and feels like a set.
A soundstage.
In the worst way possible. You know, sometimes it's endearing and other times, like with Labyrinth, you can tell it's a set, but you don't care.
Because that's part of the whimsy of it, right? Yeah. Like, you know, it's a fancy world, like it's so alien and like, for sure.
Yeah. And it's really like endearing and charismatic. And,
or like, you know, like Alien, right? Like, like that's a soundstage, but it looks like a real spaceship. It has all the function of a real spaceship and everything else, you know. I imagine that with the Terminator, because of the budget constraints and the time and it being set and filmed in LA, they probably just did all on location stuff because it was cheaper and easier, right? Like it was just going to be like, fuck it, there's a dingy nightclub, let's go film there, you know. Probably
a lot less red tape back then compared to nowadays as well.
You've got to get so much permissions and like, you know, you got to pay a fortune to like get filming rights and fees and
exactly right. I really liked it, and I liked the action in it, and I liked the characters as well. I like Sarah Connor, and I like Kyle's character. Yeah, she's iconic, and Kyle's really cool, and there's a lot of cool sequences, I think. But yeah, it's to see Arnie being like the baddie is just kind of funny nowadays, because he's always in his films later on, he's always like a good guy, a superhero,
and a little bit of a goofball as well in a lot of them other movies. You know, like you look at like, you know, True Lies or Last Action Hero or Jingle All the Way and this stuff, and there's like a comedy bend to him because I think he knew he couldn't take himself too seriously. Like I think he kind of realized that, although he did do some stuff like End of Days and things like that where he takes a bit more of a serious bend to it.
Yeah, I don't know if he's like entirely. I can't remember the film where he's like meant to be super serious. Like I know you mentioned that. Don't think I've ever seen End of Days.
End of Days was about Satan coming to Earth, and Arnie fights him. That's kind of
fights him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so 5.8.
It's worth watching. Like it's you know, again, if you've not seen it and you like Arnie movies, it's worth giving it a go. He has like some like cheesy one-liners, but it's definitely less. He's like playing more of a tragic character in it, right? Like he's kind of a tortured ex-cop or like tortured cop. Whereas opposed to like many of his other films where there's always like a kind of like element.
Yeah, like with Sylvester Stallone, I feel like I can take him seriously in like heavier roles.
Like Rambo. It feels like he fits the bill, it works in his comedy stuff like Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, because Mom, put it down.
Put it down, man.
Put it down, man.
Yeah, no,
I'm just sounding like Cartman now. Hey, man, put it down.
Yeah. Excuse you guys, I'm giving him.
Good guys, my name is Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, poor Sylvester. But yeah, he's I feel like he has more range in comparison to Arnie, where Arnie, I can't
think
remember.
that like sometimes you get actors and it's just like they're not they're not good at pretending to be other people, but they have such a personality, or they do one thing really, really well, and you like watching them do that thing. Like Nathan Fillion is like that to me. Like Nathan Fillion does not feel like the most sort of malleable actor, like, but he does this one role really, really well, and it's really enjoyable to watch. Like, you know, whether it's Mal in Firefly or Castle in Castle, like they're all very similar, but like very enjoyable watches, right? And I feel that way about Arnie. Like, you know, I'm quite happy to see him be massive and shoot a gun and then say a funny one-liner and, you know, yell "Get to the chopper," you know, and I'm like, yay, you know,
yeah, it's like, this is what I signed up for. It's great.
Unkonen by Kram.
So there's a lot of like, if you really like think about some of the scenes, like when he opens his arm up in the film, and you can see like I wouldn't say pistons, but it's like you can see the
metal endoskeleton.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. And the arm is, I don't know how they did it, but like the arm and the fingers are still moving, you know, as he's like opened it up. And I think it was really cool. And the stop motion stuff later on when he's, you know, chasing after, you know, Sarah and Kyle, and like I thought, like, it looks a bit jank, but I like that. I like that it's not this perfect thing. It's like with I know we keep mentioning Alien, but I like the prosthetic person in a suit type, you know, like, or puppet type thing where it's not full on CGI, or there's not a lot of CGI, and it feels better.
I love practical effects. Like for me, like a lot of the even modern movies, like, you know, hearing that like Guillermo del Toro wants to do as much physical practical effects as he can for his movie. Like, I'm like, oh my God, because it looks so much better. Like, you look at stuff like, you know, the Lord of the Rings movies versus the Hobbit movies, and it's just like, they just look better. Like, you know, CGI takes you out of it. It kind of reminds you that you're watching a movie to me. Whereas like, even bad physical effects can be so much more effective at keeping you immersed in that this is happening kind of thing. I really 100%. Like that. Like I love, like, you know, like all the stuff, like, again, like going back, it looks a little janky now, but at the time I'm sure people would have just been like mind blown at some of the stop motion and stuff like that. You know,
I'm mind blown even today, like looking at the stop motion, and like stop motion is very like janky looking in the sense that, you know, that is just the style of animation and filming, but it still looked really good. Like just to see the Terminator in like the exoskeleton, like, wow, just terrifying, really. But then you see, like, cause like I said, I watched T2 after this, and you can, not that it's bad, because it's like, you know, when you've got the T100 or whatever it's called with the liquid metal. The
T1000.
And you see the robots or the cyborgs, and they're moving a bit more seamlessly. It doesn't look bad because it's still in its, like, I guess, early stages. But the part where Arnie's like opened his eye and you can see like the red thing, I love that. I thought that was really cool. And then he puts the glasses on, and I'm like, hell yeah, dude, this is sick.
It's very sick. It's a great moment. It's an iconic moment. I think it's like one of the standout pieces from the first movie, right?
Definitely.
And then the final chase.
That people really like. I think that's the one thing that everybody seems to remember as well about things, is that particular use of practical effects. And that's where a lot of the effort went to, I think. So I can't be too mad about it.
So you're saying you wanted... story. You're right. It was not huge.
The story that's there, they haven't been able to go into any further because you know, they didn't have the time and the exposition that you get is some text on the screen at the beginning, which is fair enough, and then you get Kyle Reese saying in the car, he's telling Sarah Connor everything, And that's your exposition, and that's fine.
You get a couple of backflashes, because he gets like some sort of PTSD, like when he's at the construction site.
Yeah.
And then you've got like the thing rolling, and he has like, he's with somebody, and they're fighting against the machines, and they get blown up and stuff. So they try a little bit, like, to give him some credit.
And like, I'm very grateful for that. That they actually made the effort to actually put it in. They didn't just tell you.
Because in sci-fi, I think it's quite common, as like early sci-fi or low budget sci-fi, they do a lot of telling. Like, we can't show you this because we don't have the budget for it. So we're going to have a character tell you, oh, the future's so bad and blah, 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 this machine can't stop. It's got these powers and it can do this and can do this. And it has to tell you because they just physically can't show you that stuff. Yeah. And I think you're right, Booth. I think that is one of the weaker elements to the film, is that it is kind of quite mundane, and a lot of the special stuff is just told to you rather than shown to you, until later on when we see again, and I think it's why that scene stands out so much, that Arnie does like the sorts all of his skin and cuts out the eye, and you see the red glow and stuff like that, because that's showing you what this creature is, right? And I think that, like, again, T2 does that a little bit better because, again, they had a bit more budget, but they could also kind of be like, we can show more of the world. We can show more of what these things can do and show more of the fantastical elements to it. Yeah. And that's a real tricky balance with cinema, I think, is that show, don't tell.
Yes.
Agreed. No, I completely agree. It's I think they did a really good job for the time and with the budget that they had. Yeah. And then I'm just surprised at the gap in between, right?
It's life gets in the way. And I think that gap, they knew that they had something solid enough to get through. Get through that way. It's like Avatar, right?
Yeah.
People knew that there would be a wait, and I fucking hate Avatar. I think it's dog shit.
I never knew that apparent, because obviously you had the first Avatar, and then the second one took years and years and years to release after the fact. But I didn't know that he has been working on them in that time frame, like the other ones. I did not have an idea.
Yeah.
What a madman! I can barely do one thing at once.
I know. Yeah, I don't know how these people do it.
He's always cooking, and I think he still has a lot of his like flair. I also found out that in the second Terminator, the tech that they used there to create, like, for that film, he used it in the Abyss, or vice versa. Yeah. The Abyss flopped, however.
I love that.
It's a good movie. I like it. It's a bit weird, but I think I
like all the backstory around that. That's great. Read into that one.
What? The backstory of
the Abyss.
Yeah.
Fucking cursed film.
I did not realize that the Terminator was old Jimmy's third movie. It's literally like third movie he ever made. Yeah, I just looked him up on IMDb because I wanted to check. He did a movie called Xenogenesis, and then Piranha Part 2, The Spawning, and then Terminator. So it was like, jumped, and it was like the first one's only a short, and then he did screenplay, and then jumped straight into
which is it's impressive, isn't
Terminator.
For a third film to be like that.
Yeah.
Xenogenesis. That was a short. Yeah. The Terminator, Rambo. Wow. Oh yeah, Aliens. He's very good at his action.
Yeah.
I guess I'll give him that.
I'll give him that.
He's pretty good. He's pretty damn good. I love True Lies.
True Lies is one of my absolute favorite films of all time. I adore that film. Jamie Lee Curtis, amazing. Arnie, amazing. Like, the whole cast is great. It's a fun story, well paced. Like, love that movie so much.
It's literally incredible. Also, I've just seen that there's a RoboCop versus Terminator. Hello?
Can't imagine that's going to be very good.
Is this like Alien versus Predator? But
Freddy versus Jason. Just pit them against each other for a bit, I think, actually.
Yeah, it'd be a bit of fun.
What do you think your go-to kind of style of film that you gravitate towards, Mark?
I think, like, for me, like, if I think about, like, my favorite movies, like, for me, it's things like, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, The Mummy, Lord of the Rings. I think I like quite hopeful stories, but I also like stuff that's just a bit fun. Just like, it doesn't have to be like, I don't tend to go for like the big highbrow stuff. I call them popcorn movies, right?
They're popcorn movies.
They're popcorn movies. You just go in, you eat your popcorn, you drink your big soda, and you're like, I'm having a lovely time. Yes. La 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 la. And like, it's exciting and it's fun. I do like movies that like introduce like cool concepts and worlds and stuff like that. Like I'm a big world building person with the whole D&D background and stuff.
Yeah, D&D
makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, like, but in terms of genre, like I kind of go across a lot of broad genres, but I think like the sort of action adventure is definitely like my more go-to. Like I said, I am a basic bitch. Like I am a real basic bitch. Like when it comes to movies, but I love that as well, because to me, like, I feel like, and I'm kind of a bit similar with books as well, though books I'm a little bit more flexible with. But like, if I sit down to watch a movie, I don't want to come out of it depressed or sad. I want to come out of it and feel better. And it's pure escapism for me. And I am a big scaredy cat, so horror and I don't like, if it's like a slasher, I'm fine with, like slashers and stuff like that, or if it's just, violence, not a problem. When it's like spooky supernatural stuff, like I'm a big scaredy cat and I get very scared. I remember this was years and years and years ago when they did The Woman in Black with Daniel Radcliffe. It was a movie. They did the movie. And me, Nina, and a friend of mine back in Cambridge, Ben, and I was just like, yeah, let's go see it. And like, Nina was like, really? Like, we don't do scary movies. You sure? I was like, yeah, why not? It can't be that bad. And I was kind of interested, and we went to see it, and oh my God, like, it's not even that bad as a scary movie, but I remember all three of us just be like, like, just like scrunched up on the chairs. Like, Nina's like looking through her hands. I nervously laugh when I get scared. So I'm like, and it's just, I think that there's like something about like ghosts, like paranormal activity and stuff like that like really gets me on edge. And I'm like, oh, because my mind will like lock in, and then like I'll be laying in bed at night and I'm like, things are moving, and it's like, no, your just eyes are playing tricks on you. What are you talking about? But like, I get in my own head about it. So it's not that I don't like horror. It's just that I'm a big scaredy cat, and I don't like,
I think it depends on, like you said, the type of horror. Because I'm with you in the sense that I really do like horror films, but I don't like the...
You don't like mindless gore, sort of like...
Yeah, like the mindless gore stuff and the really, really set in reality, horrifying... Because, like, it's like, okay, here's a setting, and this is, like, a normal setting, and this is something... Like, I watched Barbarian the other day. Horrifying.
Yeah, I've not seen it. It's not my kind of movie,
No, good God. Like, I don't... Like, it's by the director who's done Weapons, and I thought Weapons was good in the sense that it's not over-the-top, horrifying stuff that's going on in it.
A lot of people have said, like, I should go and check it out, and they said it's not your... it is a horror film, but, like, I think you'll be okay with it.
Yeah, I've always said to Boof and like to the listeners, like, it's always, I don't mind horror, but I don't like it teetering on like the constant gore, disgusting elements. And like, I need there to be psychological cleverness in there intertwined. Then I'm fine with the disgustingness, because it's like, okay, it kind of makes sense. Okay, I can see that. But like with Saw or The Terrifier, like I've not seen The Terrifier, but Boof has said that it's
shit.
Relentless.
It's an absolutely fucking pointless waste of money, in my opinion. And if you enjoy that sort of thing, I think you are a lesser person.
I was gonna say like each to their right, but Boof's like, nah, fuck you.
I just think like I guess it's just very. I find it very boring, even in terms of slasher stuff. It's just too. It's not really that inventive. It's literally just like, let's see how much blood, and they hand out like sick bags and say like, this is gonna be your thing, and it's like it's the
disgusting.
hype more than anything as well. Like people say, I've seen it, Nah.
I don't, like I said, I don't mind gore and violence. And it's like you watch Friday the 13th and it's like, haha, someone's been impaled while they're having sex. Okay, it's gross, but like, okay, whatever. But then, yeah, like new age horror or whatever you want to call it, there's too much of that shock value for shock value purposes, and there's just nothing entirely clever about it, and I don't like that. But if that's your type of thing, whatever, go for it.
Yeah, I just judge everybody by their movie taste. So
It's really, it is really like depressing, and like it really weighs on your mind very heavily after you watch like a movie like that, because you're like, Jesus Christ, oh my God, what did I just watch?
Yes.
I am absolutely fine if you think less of me, Boof, for my very vapid taste in films.
I mean, I like the type of films that you like, Mark, but I do like the highbrow stuff as well and whatever else. But
I can enjoy it. It's not something I would choose to watch. I think I can. I very much also like to appreciate the craftsmanship of filmmaking, like a film that has like a beautiful set, or has like beautiful costumes, or has just like been very well constructed. I can appreciate that. Like I enjoy that from a sense of the writing or whatever it is. But if I have a choice, if I get to choose a movie to watch, I do tend to go for something that is a bit fluffy and a bit lighthearted and a bit sort of whimsical, bit feel good. Yeah, I like a good feel good movie.
Like Terminator is not like a feel good movie, but it's done in a way that there's so many elements of like action.
It's a cool movie.
Yeah, it's action and it's cool. And it's like, whoa, and like, yeah, there's some like gory things with like, people getting shot and murdered and stuff, but it's the way you tell the story, and the way you show the story, and it does it really well.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Like, same with like Alien and stuff like that. There are these like, just to me, like these classic films that to me are like these are exactly the like why I love cinema and why I love films and things like that.
Yeah.
And it's, swapping in like also genres, right? Like, I love a good movie where it kind of blends genres together quite well. Like one of my favorite movies is A Knight's Tale, and it's a sport underdog movie, but it's also a medieval kind of like romp, I love that.
Is that the one with
Heath Ledger, the Knights, the jousting film,
yeah.
And it's very silly, but I love it. It's like, that's like, again, in my like top 10, top 20 films.
That's actually a really good shout. This one with Sean Connery's in it. Or am I thinking of someone else?
No, you're thinking of something else. It's Heath Ledger. It's Alan Tudyk. It's a bunch of people.
Paul Bettany.
Yes,
I recognize these people. Yeah,
one of my absolute favorite films. Like that's again, like I can watch that film 100 times, and if I'm having like a miserable day and I just want to put a movie on, like that's the kind of film I would choose to go to, right?
Yeah.
But if somebody turns around and says like, man, you should really go and watch this film, like Weapons or something like that, like I think you'd really like it, like it's really well done, absolutely, I want to go and see that film and appreciate the craftsmanship that's gone into it as well.
I was saying how hard it is for me to recommend films to people because I'm like, do you know what kind of films I watch? Because if you're asking for a recommendation, maybe you do know what films I watch, and I feel kind of bad because I have strange taste. I think it's a very
eclectic
niche
taste.
Yeah, it's a very niche thing because there are a lot of people that enjoy the same films that I do. So it's not like it's not like it's completely out of left field or anything. But it's I enjoy films for completely different reasons that other people do. And
so what are the reasons that you enjoy films though? Like what are those reasons?
So this is it. It's quite hard to pin down. I don't get scared by movies, or games. I don't feel that fear, and I don't.
I'm so envious.
Even jump scares don't really get through to me. Sometimes they do though, and it's like, oh fuck, but it's not a scary thing. It's like, oh, someone slammed a door.
Yeah, it's like, oh, a noise.
My God, a noise, and so. I enjoy the practical effects. I find a lot of things very funny that aren't meant to be funny. I can laugh at a lot of stupid shit. And it's like, okay, great, well done. Like practical effects, I love. Because I look at that and I go, wow, that is some good fucking art. That's art right there. I enjoy bad acting.
We like the music as well.
I love music. Well, because I've got synesthesia, so that adds to so much of the visual experience.
Yeah.
I like looking at ladies' tits because I think that's great. The female form is beautiful.
Beautiful. We love it. That. Yeah, absolutely.
I like horror because I'm that way inclined. I think that stuff is cool.
Old horror, or like, do you like any of the new age stuff, or is it specifically like older?
Well, I love older movies because there's a lot of charm behind them that is lost. But I don't discount things just because they're newer.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's love being made, right? Because they were often, I think if you go back, movies were made because people just really wanted to make that movie, not because we need to fucking make $1 bajillion on the next Marvel shit out movie, right?
Yeah.
Like back then people were like, I've had this wacky idea. What if a leprechaun, but they're an evil killer and like, you know, they're trying to get their gold back or something. And that's like, they're just like, yeah, man, let's make that. And the people that work on that are involved in that idea.
It's inspiring to me because it's like, these are the people that they're low budget. They wanted to make this stuff. Yeah. And that's what excites me about cinema. I'm trying to think of like a lot of my favorite movies is just because I find them very funny, whether they're intentionally funny or not. Because I find these things hilarious.
Yeah.
They've got to have a decent story behind them. Usually, but then there's the nothing movies where nothing really happens, and I love it. It's like it's just following someone around for a bit, and it's like great, cool. It's like I find it very difficult to pin down, but then somebody's saying like, oh, Booth, could you recommend me a film today? And I go, yes, there's this one where some fishmen rape all the women in the village.
Right.
And I love that's one of my favourite fucking films. Oh it's great. It's so fucking good.
The fucking whiplash.
I'm just sort of like, okay.
It's amazing. What a good film.
How do I respond to this?
It's called it's called Monster in the UK. Very, very good. Very inventive name.
Is that a video nasty or? It sounds like one.
I don't actually think. I don't know whether it is, but I mean probably. The video nasties are. There's a few on the line there that it's just like they are nasty. No, they're nasty because
no. So I'm just reeling from like that in the exchange. It's just so funny. Jesus Christ.
Video nasties themselves, right? Some of them they were stupidly put on this list because of a very stupid amount of criteria, but some of them are genuinely, even in my opinion, like it goes too far. For the point of the shock value, and it's like I see why, you know.
Yeah.
But there's some that's like, well, if you've got blood on breasts, that is sexualizing violence, so that's off. You're not allowed that. Things like that.
Right, okay.
There's like criteria where they're like,
if you have a nosebleed and it falls on your cleavage,
no, that's sexualizing violence. Things like that.
I guess it's about the. I can get it in some aspects because it's like, oh, that's awakened something in me. Like just weird shit like that where you make the association, right? Because some people are really impressionable.
Oh God,
really impressible. Like, I'm not defending it because I don't give it. I'm not impressed upon that easily, but I can see how some people are really impressed upon by like stuff like that because it might be the intention, but it's not the intention to then act it out in real life, you know what I mean? Because it's like something
there's always going to be fucking weirdos, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. So
a lot of fucking weirdos.
I mean, we've had in the UK we've had pornography completely banned unless you show everybody the ID. Your ID, you've got to make sure that you are of age because protect the children. Thank you,
Moral
UK.
panic.
We're not allowed to actually enjoy anything. No, right. Don't worry about parenting your kids because the government will do it for you these days. Don't worry about it. Like, come on. We've put blocks on the internet. So you don't have to worry. You go to the pub. It's all right.
Yeah.
Sit down,
you
watch telly.
Pub. Give them iPad. You go
Give
to
me
pub.
iPad. It's fine. It's how I was raised. Not wrong with me. They just let me free on the moors. It was great. That's why I am the way I am.
Moors.
Yeah, they were just like, go on, Sophie, off you run.
That's what they do in the north.
It is.
Go to the moors.
Because it was just like, you go out to play and you're just on the moors. And it is exactly as you would imagine. It's absolutely fantastic. Go drink out of a stream, eat some berries that you find.
You'll learn which ones are good and which ones are bad. You'll learn. You'll figure it out.
It's fine. It's great. It's very bleak. You look over all the dales and it's beautiful stuff. And for some, I don't know why we got onto this. I'm just absent-mindedly talking about my childhood now. Like this is some sort of in-depth therapy session of why I am the way I am.
And what was it about the moors that made you like?
I think it was the bleakness and the solitude. Really, I just really kind of get. Yeah, I understand it. You know,
it appeals to me.
There was Fred and Rose West, the murderers. They were around at the same sort of time.
Wow.
And it was,
oh, Jesus. Yeah. Bringing the true crime in now.
True crime. I love true crime.
No, you? What?
I love me some sci-fi as well, but because I genuinely want to believe. Okay.
You want to believe they're out there. The truth is out there.
But with Terminator. Or Terminator, as
Terminator.
Because there was somebody listed I was laughing with my mates because it was absolutely like years and years ago on eBay. Someone listed a magic card as Choas Terminator. It was Chaos Terminator. Choas Terminator. So now that is how you pronounce Terminator. It's Choas Terminator. And it's like it's basically like. I don't really understand it. I don't really get it. I can put it on. I've always put it on in the background. Okay, so when I was paying attention to it this time, G, I promise. Okay. I sat down and I watched it.
Off to a good start. This is really concerning because, like, Terminator, and then we watched Trancers, which is like more Blade Runner.
It's stupid. It's fucking ridiculous.
I'm pretty sure you gave Trancers like an 8 or something.
Yeah, I fucking love Trancers.
Yeah, and it's like arguably like it's an okay
it's
film.
Horrible.
Yeah, but it's like shit. But it's like fine.
But it's good shit. It's like enjoyable shit.
Yeah. It is, and it's got character and stuff. So I get the feeling that you're not going to rate this very highly.
I'm trying to understand why I understand.
Okay, let's discuss it. Let's discuss. What didn't you like about this film?
I was bored. I was so fucking bored.
How many times have you seen this before? Sorry?
A lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot.
It's because obviously when I was a kid, as a little girl, I didn't really give two shits about it, you know. And then I got into my teens and I was like watching it. It's like, okay. And I went through the hype. Oh my God, yeah, cool, because all my mates love it. Way. Then I was like, okay, I'm watching it and I'm like, what? Why? Okay. It's a good premise.
Okay.
But I just don't find it very engaging for me.
As a product on its own, rather than representing what it will become as a franchise, as a separate as its own thing, as a separate
entity. I'm just like, okay. I mean, people
You think that like the plot is like, okay, sure, the future, and then robots coming in, and
I love the premise of it.
Yeah,
it's really cool, and there are some good bits. But I'm just like it's like the intro. We've got some good like, oh yeah, let's go, and then it sort of goes a bit floppy in the middle. I don't remember much of that. And then as soon as he gets his kit off, and he's just an endoskeleton, a skeleton, and then I get a bit more excited because I like the stop motion animation and the puppetry and stuff. But I don't really. Where did Arnie's eyebrows go?
Yeah, I think they got blown off.
Yeah, I think they did.
Very early on.
I think
and I find that hilarious. Just in itself.
There were bits that you can take away from that. You can enjoy old eyebrowless Arnie, and
I laugh at it, and I appreciate the special effects and stuff. But as a film, I just don't. I find it a bit. It's not something that I watch. If there's say we've got your movie channels on telly, right? And you're flipping through, and there's Terminator on. I'm not going to put that on.
Right.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not going to watch that.
You wouldn't even go there. You wouldn't even go, oh, it's on, fuck it.
Nope. I would rather watch Countdown. Something that
So how do you feel about the second one then?
I love the second one. The second one's better.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not completely brain damaged. I do appreciate the second Terminator.
So you find that it's like a bit more action, a bit more interesting.
It's just it fleshes out the story a bit to make it.
It's a better film.
Yeah.
It is a better overall film.
It just makes more sense to me, and it justifies a lot of the stuff. But it's like he's in a gun shop and he's going Uzi 9mm. Have you got a plasma rifle? No, fucking
Uzi 9mm.
It's just like. Okay, great, cool. Violence. Shoot, gun. Trying to catch Sarah Connor. And that's it. It's not really...
It's very shallow, a lot of the film, right?
And that's fine.
So what do you think the second one offers more? Like more action, a bit more fleshed out?
Yeah, I remember I like it. I remember that there's more story in there, but I haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah. I watched it straight after this because I was like, oh yeah, I was like,
put you in the mood. You're like, I gotta watch T2 now.
Well, it's like because everyone's, I remember the second one the most because it's around, like so.
Yeah, it was more of our
thing. So I watched and I thought, fuck, this is incredible. Like, it's just like the action and what's going on and like the threat of that T-100 1000 or whatever, like insane. But it benefits from the better, the bigger budget.
Yes.
Bit better like CGI and technology and all that kind of stuff. So the scenes at the beginning or the scenes where they show 2049?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think those were sets or do you think those were like miniature?
I believe they're miniatures. Yeah, I believe it's all miniatures.
Yeah, because I couldn't quite figure it out at times because I'm like, it's quite a grand thing to show.
Good. It's they did good with what they had, and it's very good at world building in just the tiny little bits that you do get to see.
Because they show it to you as well, right? Like they show you how bad it gets in the future. Because it starts off with that the famous scene of the skulls being crushed under the giant like wheel of the Skynet machine. Then you see, and then it transitions into the human actors, like the soldiers, like running to fight back and stuff like that. And it shows you how desperate things are going to become. And I think that does a lot to set up the threat a lot better than, say, the first film does.
Yes.
It's 2029, by the way, so we've only got 4 years until Skynet.
Hell, it's already happening.
Well, yes, Skynet was supposed to have happened by now, but that is when in T2, that's when the T1000 is sent back. Is 2029.
Right, I see.
I thought that there was a company.
Cyberdyne Systems.
There is a company called Skynet.
Oh, great! Oh,
at least one.
Well, now you mean like
a real company in today's world?
Yeah.
Oh my god! Why would you name your company Skynet?
Do you know what? It's the UK military communication system.
Mamma mia!
There's also Skynet surveillance by the US National Security Agency, the NSA.
Dun, dun,
and then Operation Skynet, the Chinese government's mass surveillance system.
Oh, come on!
So there's quite a lot of Skynet that is just inherently fucking evil and scary.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ, they're not even trying to hide it. You know what I mean? They're like, that's something like freaking Elon Musk would do.
It is, and I'm pretty sure that he probably like had his hands in the NSA bit. Satellite as well. He's just like, I can do that. And then we've got all the AI stuff happening at the moment.
Oh god, I know.
Yeah, it feels very like, because I want to say that I know the full plot of everything. Not that it's like too complicated, but what is it? It's like machines are taking over and they want to eradicate humans? Question mark?
So,
is that it?
in the Terminator universe, it's basically we like humankind builds Skynet. I believe it's like a military thing to basically do exactly what AI is doing now, where it's just like, to like take over and make running governments easier and more convenient. Skynet becomes self-aware and basically goes, well, the best way to achieve my goal is to wipe out humanity. They're the problem. It then takes control of all the nuclear sites, all the satellites. It launches multiple nukes and basically demolishes most of the world. There are scattered pockets of survivors who are then fighting back against the machines after that.
They keep some of the human race alive to work for the robots.
That's because they bring that into like one of the future movies, don't they? They show us that like they keep them in like camps basically as like work camps, and like they also use them for like biological components as well.
So they do keep humanity around. It's basically just that they overthrow us, and it's all happening as prophesized by all these movies. We never learn. We never go in life.
It's one of my favorite things of it's like a little stupid like meme that it just sums up everything, and it's just like, famous author decries the torture machine as a horrific dystopian look into the future, and then the next line is tech CEO builds the beloved torture machine from favorite sci-fi novel, and things go bad basically.
It's one of those fucking things where they and it's always someone like Elon Musk that's going to make it. Like
they think because they don't understand the subtext. They have no media literacy. They think, but cool though. They don't see the bigger lesson
one of his
of it.
favorite things is like Evangelion. And it's like, what?
He doesn't understand it. He doesn't understand it.
Like, what are you? It's just so. It's like they don't get it. And they're getting it for like the wrong reasons.
Exactly, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. It's like all the guys that like watch Fight Club and then idolize like Tyler Durden and
American Psycho.
American Psycho, and not understanding that like no, you're not meant to like sympathize or idolize these people. That's the point. Media literacy is so bad, and like that's something that all this like ChatGPT and stuff like that really worries me. Like I was like, somebody posted the other day that there are these people bragging that like, I read like 100 books a week. Well, no, they just get AI to summarize them, and then they count that as reading the book. It's just like, and it's just like, what are you talking about?
I am so pissed off. Everything
that is actually upsetting. Like
everything has AI now as well, and you can't escape it. And it's like you just have to accept that this is now a thing. And it's like everything I touch, there is AI in there, and I'm just like, for fuck's sake, I don't want it. And it's like
in my phone, it's like this Bixby, and I don't think I've ever used my phone's AI assistant in my life because it's like
and also it's wrong most of the time. Like the amount of times I've like Googled something, and like Google has this like AI summary at the top now, and like you look at it and it's wrong. Or like a friend of mine wanted to do. Was like working on like a D&D thing and was just like, maybe I can get like ChatGPT to like just summarize the rules into like a 1-page document to like help my players learn the game. And he did it, and literally it starts making up rules because it doesn't know how to properly summarize. Like it's things like that, like where it's just like, this is fucking crazy. Like people are so reliant and trusting of these AI softwares, and it's wrong. It's like it just makes stuff up because it can only hold so much information before it's like it forgets the first bit, and then it starts being like, I don't know, so I'm just gonna make this bit up. Like
it's a glorified Google machine in itself. It's a search engine, and
like
it'll just scan
Google.
Yeah, it'll scan the internet, pick out little bits that sort of make sense to it, and then compile that. But like, it'll take anything and everything as fact anyway. So you've got if you feed it enough misinformation and disinformation, it'll take that on, and that's and then we get the Terminator coming to kill Sarah Connor.
Kill Sarah Connor. Come with me if you want to live.
Get to the chopper.
Wrong film, G.
Sorry.
Wrong film. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. And again, like most people just don't pick up on this stuff. They just don't get it.
It's like people who watch Breaking Bad and go, wow, well, Walt is such a stand-up guy. He just loves his family so much.
He just really loves his family. He's so good to his family.
Oh, he's just such a guy. He's so driven. It's like, okay, you clearly don't understand what's going on here.
Yeah.
Fucking, like, there's such a theme in media as well that AI has been a thing. And it used to be so cool. Like, in the 80s, when it was like, wow, robots, these are awesome. Like, having AI, like, it's a genuine thing. And they've ruined it. They've adopted this thing. It's like, this is now AI, and it's like, what? But this is shit.
This is
absolute dog shit. Like,
it's the idea is. Go on, sorry, Booth.
No, it's like, you know, you see, like these robots that are indistinguishable from human beings in every way, and it's like they can do loads of cool stuff, and it's like AI, wow, it's like, but it always takes over. And then now we've got something that it's like I've got a Google search bar at the bottom of my phone, right? And they've put a little AI thing right where your thumb is to click on the search thing. And I press it, and it's just like, right, well, what? Meet AI mode. Why does this exist when I can just do it myself in exactly the same way without AI? Like, make a table comparing different types of coffee makers is one of the fucking suggestions. Right? Recommend me the best digital cameras under £50. I literally could just Google these things.
So where do you draw the line in terms of AI and its use in like technology? Like, because I know there's a lot of like Photoshop stuff that uses it, or like, I don't know the bounds. I don't know what AI is used for, like, overall, and which industry and what technologies and stuff like that. Because I don't think it's entirely bad, but in the right context.
And that's like the big distinction that I try and make is like, I am not against AI as a tool in certain industries. My big thing is, firstly, a lot of the times, like for this, like people that use it to like write essays or get factual information, it gets it wrong. Like it's often wrong. I do not like for me personally, AI doesn't have a place in generating creative content. Like, that to me is an intrinsically human process. And the part of what makes it art in the first place is that it is somebody's thing that they've done. They've not just gone, machine, make a thing for me. Like, it's the journey as much as it is the end product result. And it's a very kind of like modern capitalist thing of like, nope, it's just about making money and making a thing at the end of the day. It's like, no, it's not. It's about how you get there as well.
It's like, you know, like, when the camera was invented, do you think all the artists were going, oh, I'm out of the fucking job now?
Well, a lot of them did. Like, this is like a thing, is apparently like when the camera came out, there was a lot of fear mongering around it, like getting rid of artists and everything else. But I think it's a very different medium, because like the camera still needs a person to, like, it is just a tool. Whereas with the generative AI stuff, you are handing over the entire process, really. You're just like, I've got an idea, make a thing for me. Draw Pikachu kissing Mario. You know, it's literally that, right? Like with the camera, it's hard to like say this without like...
No, I agree with what you're saying in the sense that it's like you need to coincide with it.
It's taking the soul out of it, which sounds really wanky, but like to me that's the difference, right? Like, you know,
Photoshop opened up, it's now a thing, it's its own sort of thing. Like digital art is a tool, and photography is a tool, and AI should be a tool rather than just relied upon entirely as its own creative thing.
Exactly. And then the problem you have with it is like, and people will be like, oh, well, that's what I do. And it's like, well, no, but the tools you're using now, they have been built on stolen work, right? Like a lot of it is like, it has stolen the art of real people, or it has stolen like the writing of real people with no compensation. And that has been used to train it and teach it and everything else. And no permission whatsoever.
Just takes it and then that's it.
And that's like a big flaw. But I think it's also just like, why do I, and this is the quote I always say is like, why should I bother looking at someone's art or reading someone's book that they themselves couldn't be bothered to make?
Exactly.
Right? Like that for me is the big thing. Like a photographer who takes a picture of something, they've gone out there and done the work to learn how to use that camera to do everything else and to capture this moment that they themselves wanted to do. And they've written this book and they've slaved away at like learning the art of writing, or they've learned the art of like what it means to do it. If
with
somebody's
their own
literally
twist. So you've got the structure of it, and then you inject yourself into that
exactly
and make it your own.
Yeah. And I just feel like if you can't be bothered to do that, like if you just make a machine do it, why should I bother? Like, why should I bother reading that? Like, because you've not written it. Like you've given the machine the idea and the machine's done it. Same way with like, if you tell a machine, like, this is the prompt, even if you then, I know a lot of people are like, oh, well then, you refine these prompts and you go in and like, you have to tweak them and do all of this work. And I'm like, yeah, but you're not doing that. Like, you're just telling the machine what to do.
Well,
like you're not the one doing it.
Yeah, it goes back to and we've discussed the use of CGI versus practical effects, right? Especially in regards to like between Terminator 1, Terminator 2, or any film that uses, practical effects. And there's obviously a lot of practical effect usage. And then, later on in T2, you've got like they created the technology to do what is it, the 3D model render? I can't remember exactly, but like that's incredible, right? But it doesn't, like, CGI and the use of CGI shouldn't downplay or shouldn't be like looked down on because you're using CGI. If you use it correctly. Use it correctly. But I do have more respect for and more appreciation for the practical effects. But it does take a lot of skill to still do CGI.
Of course it does.
Well.
Like again, you have to learn how to like sculpt and render and all that. But I think 100%. That like it works best. Like you look at T2, right? And yes, it has CGI. Also has a lot of practical effects, and it also 100%. Blends the two together. The scene with the T-1000 when he gets melted down and then reforms. There's, obviously CG as he turns into the liquid metal and begins to melt, but then the metal coming together, they used liquid mercury, and it was a physical effect to make that work.
It was awesome.
And it blends so well, and it creates this like absolutely iconic moment in cinema.
It is such like I respect it so much.
And it took a human vision to do that. Do you know what I mean? Like and human craft and like ingenuity
and brainstorming and critical thinking. Like, okay, how about if we do this and
like,
that?
And there was probably like multiple takes where it didn't work and they had to refine it and build it and everything else.
I understand that you use these tools to like make life a bit easier, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I think if you rely too heavily to one side,
it's shades of gray, right? Like there's no black and white to this.
No, I agree.
And like, like there was this thing of like, like AI can be used to detect like cancerous growths, like in breast cancer and stuff like that.
Fucking
because
great.
it can, that's amazing. Like that to me is what, like, the other
be.
problem I have with it is like, it's the commercialization, the capitalization of AI as well. Like that's the stuff that the AI should be doing, is helping us like save lives and make, do your taxes and, do things like that are way easier. Why are we given the creative thing, the one thing that is intrinsically human? We're using AI for that. You know what I mean? Because it's about money. Because it's like, but if I can tell an AI machine to write a book and then sell that book and make money, that's why I'm doing it. And like that's the problem I have with it.
There's so many things like where it's like, here's how you can make loads of money by getting something else to write your book, and then you put it on here, and it's just like, and now we're just filling the world with crap.
With slop, because it is just the most base generic stuff. Like it's not going to be revolutionary. It's going to be an amalgamation of everything that's popular.
It makes me really sad because like I was in Oxford looking at like a whole bunch of art from Renaissance and whatever have you, every period in time. And I'm looking at this art and I'm thinking, and I find myself for like a split second not being impressed.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's really sad because if you really stop and think about how hard
much
it is.
Work.
Yeah, and how much, but because my brain has been I've seen so much AI, and I've seen how AI can do something so quickly within the blink of an eye. It's poisoned my brain, and I'm thinking, like, snap out of it. This art that you're looking at is so incredible, so breathtaking, and probably took them so much time and effort that it is genuinely impressive.
It's not even in the process of making it, right? It's all the years and training and experience that went into getting to that point where they could produce that thing as well. Yeah. And just, I don't want it to sound too doom and gloom. I am not worried anymore about the future. I used to really worry about creative future and like being a writer or being an artist. But I think there's always going to be a place for human art, even if AI really takes off and like books and people are making AI movies and AI books and whatever. I think that there will always be a place for like handcrafted human things, right? And actually, I think that you'll see the bubble burst, because I think people will see all this AI stuff coming out and be like, well, it's kind of a bit shit, isn't it, really? And then a human person will make a really awesome book or a movie or something that's all, handcrafted and made with like precision and skill.
It goes
and
back
that will do really well.
Yeah, I think it also goes back to like even simple things like if you've got like a designer bag or a designer brand, and like the big thing about designer stuff is like it's meant to be handcrafted, really good materials, like toiled over, and it took hours to make this thing and this design and whatever. And then you've got the replicas, like the Temu versions or like the cheaper versions, and it's like
hasn't put the original out of business, has it?
No, but it has the practices of the business itself, because they end up like with what's that brand, Doc Martens. They don't make their stuff in England anymore. They don't. Their manufacturing is not what it used to be, and it's like Chinese now. It's like made in China, and you can tell the quality of the products has gone down the drain, and like the product diminishes very quickly in comparison to older Doc Marten, merchandise and stuff. And it like, because there's so much copying of a certain type of thing and another way in which people copy it, it just devalues things in its entirety. And like it's a silly example with like shoes and stuff, but it's being copied across. Like people who like handcraft things, and then some people will just like buy a whole bulk of that thing and then claim it as their own. And they're like pretending like they made it and they actually didn't.
I think the worst thing is that these handcrafted things and like making art by hand, music by hand, it costs more than a fucking AI prompt, which you can buy a subscription to, and it's like, well, I'm still paying for it, and it's like, but it's like so much money to learn things, to pay for physical things, to do it by hand. It's so
you're saying that's like one of the downsides, that it's like a lot of effort, money.
It's money and effort that people don't want to put in effort anymore for sure. It's like an easier thing, but it's like the money aspect is so much harder. Yeah, it's a factor that's just like pushing people further and further out.
Yeah, why would I pay someone this much money when I can just go to this?
For sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
It's sad, but I get it in some respects, but I also don't, because I wouldn't. If I want something made, like a starting screen for my stream or anything like that,
an actual artist,
I'm going to go to an artist, and I typically even overpay them, because I'm like, you did such an amazing job. Yeah. Like you deserve like a bit, like way more than what you've charged. And like, it's so fun getting to see the things that people can create based on the stuff and the information that you've provided to them.
Yeah. Because you're also paying for them to put like their little twist on it as well, right? Like, like you're giving them the thing, and then they're kind of taking their knowledge and expertise and style and, adding that, like, a lot of tattoo, like, for tattoos and stuff, like you often get your tattoo artists because you like their style and you want them to have
their creative
impact into it. Creative element to it as well. Because then that's what you're getting out of it, right? Like it's a whole thing. Like it's I see this a lot. Like in the D&D world these days. Like there's a lot of companies out there producing 100 new monsters, and it's all AI. It's just been written by AI. It's been like drawn by AI. And like people buy it. Like people definitely go out there, and like you get the people who just don't care. And I've met those people. They're like, I don't care. Like it's just more stuff for me to use. I'm happy to do it. It's the two cakes mentality, right? They're like, oh great, another cake. But then you do get the people who are like, I don't buy that stuff. Like I only want things made by professionals or people that are like, actually have skill and experience into it. And maybe there has been like some lost in sales and things like that, but I like to believe that a lot of people are still going to pay money like you do, G. Like they're still going to hire a real artist. They're still going to hire, a proper person.
I hope so. Cause
I hope so.
My God, I just think about the amount of time and effort and years of honing that skill for it to be appreciated. Oh yeah, and hopefully not lost, into the void, because you can just go into ChatGPT or whatever it is these tools are. I have no idea, and they can just, Well,
yeah, I saw a thing which was saying like the bubble is kind of bursting at the moment. Like a lot of these companies are having real big problems like with the tools, or like they're having problems with copyright. And that means that like investors are losing money, which, if the money's gone, then this stuff won't be a problem anymore, right? Like, people will stop investing in it because it's not making the money. But yeah, we just have to hope and see.
Yeah, it's a sad thing, and it's like with movies in general, like specifically on the topic of movies, I don't want to see that kind of stuff.
I don't want to watch an AI generated movie. Like, why would I want to watch that? Like, I don't like, but you could see, somebody could make a movie and have Wolverine versus the Terminator. And I'm like, I don't care.
I don't want to see that. Yeah,
I don't want to see that. I'd rather
it's like with voice actors, right? And like how they're taking, they're taking the the voices, and they're like not getting permission. Like I think I saw it in Tomb Raider. I think the remaster games that they did.
Yeah,
and I think they got AI like recognition to copy one of the voices in like the remake. The remastered versions of the Tomb Raider games without the voice actors' permissions from the original.
Oh my God, they just that's so bad.
Yeah.
Well, my friend Josh he's losing work to AI because it's cheaper and you don't have to do it. And it's like there are jobs that he would keep him afloat for ages just because, there's one job. It's like, no, actually we've chosen to go with AI because we don't need to pay.
Yeah. That's what it all comes down to. Yeah. Like if they don't need to pay. And the only hope is that these like lawsuits and things like that will hopefully stifle this software so it can't, develop. And then because there will be a point where it can't do the things that the companies want it to do. Right. And then they'll have to go back to humans, but it might not. Maybe
can't, it won't. And they don't care.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, a lot of them don't care.
And I don't want this to turn into another podcast of where we lambast AI and stuff. But it's kind of
goes to the Terminator in a way. How they've got these machines, these ruthless, unfeeling.
I do think
machines.
That AI is just going to be too shit to take over, and people believe that it's already becoming sentient because that's what people feed it.
Oh my God, yeah. Like you guys must have seen like all this stuff of like people having these full on breakdowns because they like have like full on, like they start to think that like the AI has become sentient and has woken up, or they fall in love with it and stuff like that.
Getting into relationships with AI.
We were talking about that with RT when we watched Blade Runner, but people are genuinely like, they've got this AI thing, and it's like it's gone to a way because it mimics humans. They think that it is actually sentient, but it's not. It's not. Mimicking the sentience of a human. And people are believing that it's like, oh my God, I feel so sorry for this AI because it's like doing it's feeling things. And it's like, well, you don't know that. Sentience in itself is like, I can't actually prove anything.
That's a big question in itself. Like, what is it to be alive, and what is it to have a soul and think?
Why would you create it?
That was the big question and the big discussion in Blade Runner. Because we watched 2049.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. And the big thing was about how, you know, they had these... I'm crossing wires because they're called cyborgs in this, but they're called replicants in that. And, you know, the big question of Rachel being a replicant and having... you know, sex with Deckard and having a baby, and it's like, okay, so what is it to be human, and what is it to have? Is it a soul? Is it to be born into this world? And
what is it? That's the big question, right?
And the girlfriend Joy, you know, the hologram, whatever. It's like, you know, he has this. Because essentially they're both robots, right? She's just an AI, but he's like a physical version, and it's like they're both feeling things for each other.
But is that just because they're on her case, like she's kind of programmed to do that, right? Is it real? Is it not real?
I hate that humanity's decided that they want to do this and confuse themselves and bring this thing into the world where we're just gonna. They're like, what the fuck am I? What?
Yeah. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a real problem.
It's the replacement of things in general, right? So if you can't get something in a certain way, like, I know it's a crass example, but like sex dolls.
Yeah.
It's like you can't get sex, so you just get a fuck doll.
Yeah.
But and that's pretty damaging, I think.
And it's like, why can't you get that, right? Because you've probably, in a lot of cases for these, like... you know, sad, lonely guys who end up going down that route, who either fall in love with their AI girlfriend or get a sex doll or whatever. It's because they've probably put such high expectations on their partner that they've denied themselves a real relationship by having terrible social skills, or perhaps maybe setting their expectations too high, you know, and then they sort of they fuck themselves out of it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, they believe all this like 4chan Reddit shit. Yeah. And then of course they can't get anybody because they've turned into a miscreant, a gremlin. Yeah. And then they go into like, well, now I'm going to have this AI girlfriend and everything's fine. Like, I'm going to replace this real thing with this real person and have this opportunity for growth for a thing that just tells me I'm the best and will love me forever, you know? Yeah. It's very sad.
It is very sad. And it really does tie into these types of films like the Terminator and Blade Runner, where it's like, you've got the human element and then you've got the robot AI artificial intelligence learning element, where you're bringing these things into the human aspect of life and every walk of life, and it's taking over as opposed to working alongside it or using it as a tool to make things easier and not take over. Like when we're talking about, like, you know, researchers who gather data for whatever it is that they're trying to gather data on. I think my brother mentioned this the other day. It's like it would have taken these researchers and these scientists years and years and years and years to go through this set of data. Yeah. But with like this software and this AI, whatever, like that's embedded, they could do it a lot quicker. And I think that's a great thing, because that's not anything to do with like creativity. You have like, it's a pretty regimented like thing of, here's a set of data, we need to like get through it and blah, 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 blah.
And it's like, it's artificial intelligence, but it's not like, it's not trying to pretend to like be able to come up with answers or do anything like that. It's literally like, my job is to process this information and then summarize it or do this. That's the stuff that it's great at. That's the stuff that it can do really, really well. Like, it's like, here is a finite set of data. Here is a specific instruction. Do this very quickly, please. Great. Perfect use for it, right? Yeah. It's when we expect it to act and think and behave like a person that it becomes a problem, because it can't do that.
Really
it just isn't
big
that.
Issues with that, because it's really sad. It's like people who are like, oh, I say please and thank you to ChatGPT. What? Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean?
I think no, that I can almost, because like we anthropomorphize things, right? Like I say that to like
wrong, though, because
technology.
That's like, yeah.
Like I'll like be like, oh, like my phone is sad. You know, I think that it's very human for us to like take inanimate things and then ascribe, like we can almost feel bad. Like I say like thank you to Alexa because I feel bad if I don't, which is crazy. It's crazy.
I think it's more, I feel like it's more of a meme as opposed to, it's like, oh, you know, oh, thank you, Alexa. But it's
it's just reflex for me.
Yeah.
Because we're polite people. So we go, thanks. Oh,
and then it's a voice that you're hearing, right? But like, you know, like I give names to like my phone and my headphones and things like that, or my PC. Or if my PC's, I'm like, oh, come on, you stupid bitch. Like, you know, it's like you kind of, we do sort of like, you know, humanize things sometimes.
Yeah. My Ring doorbell is called your bumhole because then there is a person at your bumhole.
Nice. There you go.
My
Love
headphones they're called 12-inch dildos, so that it's like your 12-inch dildo.
So your Bluetooth thing, perfect. Yeah, so and if anybody comes in your house and looks at their Bluetooth list, it's like, oh my.
Exactly. So you've got to make fun of it. Yeah. Make fun of AI and put it in its fucking place, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger doesn't have to come back and kill anyone. Well, just bully it.
People keep saying clankers now.
Yeah.
Clankers.
Have you seen those?
Like in Star Wars, old clankers.
Roger.
Like those robots that like people are making. The ones
that they kick.
Yeah. I feel sorry for them just because
I feel sorry for them.
They don't even have any sort of consciousness about them. It's just like a literal a balance thing, and I'm like, stop kicking him.
It's because of what Mark said. They're like
anthropomorphized.
Yeah, because they kind of have like the features of not features, but the build of a human or the build of a dog, let's say, or an animal. And because when they're kicking and pushing and then they stumble and it's like, oh my God, it looks very human.
No. Yeah.
So I can see why
it's gonna like it goes back to that thing we said earlier, right? Of like sci-fi really is a window into like what could be, right? And we've got all these sci-fi movies about AI, humanoid robotics, androids becoming a thing in society, and us having the very problems we're talking about now of like, is it real? Is it okay to mistreat a robot? Because if it's not a real thing, is that okay? You know, all of these kind of conversations. And we're getting to the stage where probably not in our lifetimes, but I think the next generation, they're going to have those real situations where it's just like, you know, we're going to have a Detroit Become Human where it's just like, is this a person? Is this a person? Right? Like, you know, like,
I don't want to be part of that reality. I'm just putting that out there.
I want to be out before that happens. I'm like, no, thank you. I don't want to be around.
I don't think I'd enjoy that at all. And I think my opinion is influenced because of all of the media from games and movies.
We've grown up with it, right? Yeah. Like we've grown up with it.
And we've always been shown that it's like not a good thing. Not always, because you've got like things like the Jetsons and like...
That's true, yeah.
You know, sometimes it's like fun and quirky, and it's not always.
The robots are just happy to be little robot helpers, and they're happy with it.
Yeah, exactly.
But so much of it, the media is like, no, they're real, and they're going to rise up against you because you mistreated them. Yeah, yeah. Oh my God, some of the stuff in there, I'm just like, ugh, scary.
It's so horrifying.
Terrifying. But so much of it's becoming reality. You know, some of it's we're going in that direction. Maybe not for the next 50 years, you know, maybe the next 100 years, but we are going in those directions.
I think it's why I kind of like, sometimes whenever someone's like, oh, you're so like technology, like incompetent at times. And I'm like, that's fine. I don't care. I don't like, I want to watch like VHS. I want to listen to vinyl. I want to listen to CDs on a CD play. I want to play on my I want my older technology. I like new technology. There's nothing wrong with new technology, but I'm a little bit more hesitant when it comes to using newer technology sometimes, because I'm just like, I don't care.
Reliant on it.
Yeah, I'm pretty set in my ways at times. And I'm like, I understand that this is probably like easy and better and blah, blah, blah. But like, I'm like fine with this.
I'm like that with the D&D stuff. Like, to me, like, when during COVID we had to switch to playing digitally, and like there's loads of great digital tools to play games like D&D online now.
Yeah.
But to me, I'm just like, this isn't how I grew up. Like, I don't enjoy this. Like, I like being at a table with physical dice, with paper sheets, and like being with my mates in person. That to me is such a special part of that hobby and that experience. Yeah. And I think that whilst it's great that people, like Rythian and Kirsty and some of our friends in the Yogs, they all play digitally together because they have to, right? They all live, in different countries and all across like the UK. Yeah. So they have to do that. Whereas like, and that's fine. And I think it's great that option is there for people. But if you give me a choice, I want to be physical dice, physical miniatures, like at a table, even if it's like, cardboard boxes and like you're all sat around a crappy dining table or whatever. I'd much rather have that experience, because to me, that is what is so special about that hobby and that game. And so I kind of get like, I get that. Like I'm the same, like with that stuff.
Yeah, 1,000%.
What did you think of sorry to pivot.
Pivot away. Pivot.
What did you think of the music in Terminator?
I didn't think it was that, like, there was some like iconic, music, but sometimes it sounded really fucking weird.
What do you mean by weird?
I don't know how to put this in a way that's like not going to come off insulting. It just wasn't very good sometimes. No. Like it sounded really amateurish at times. And I'm like, what is this tune? What is this?
You mean the weird MIDI sexy?
Yeah, there was
plinky plonking around on things.
Yeah. There were like some points where I'm like, this sounds really unprofessional and like not well done. But then you've got like the iconic, it's like
the theme, the main theme.
Yeah, and then like the foreboding when he's on scene and there's that building tension. So it's like some points it was actually good.
It was very all over the place, wasn't it?
It was, and I don't know if there were multiple composers or not, but very confusing at times.
I will have to look into things, but it's I liked elements of they put like very metallic sounding.
It was just one.
They put very metallic sounding stuff. Like in the music, they gave it an industrial sort of theme when he was around. Yeah. When he was,
made it like metal. Yeah. The Terminator soundtrack was composed and performed on synthesizer by Brad Fiedel.
Yeah.
I think it says that there are other people. Oh, and that's for the later stuff, right? Okay.
There's intimacy. There's a few. Burning in the Third Degree, photoplay, performed by Triangles, spelled Trianglz. Fucking brilliant. So that's like in the club and stuff. But yeah, it's like there's a
really
lot of the
weird.
A lot of the general sort of like theme, the soundtrack to it is Brad Fiedel.
Brad Fiedel.
Yeah. So
I need to sort of admit something to you guys. I'm not a big music person anyway. I think G, you and I, we've had this conversation when we went to see the Cyberpunk thing. Like, I'm not a big music person, and I'll be honest. Like, apart from like the main themes, movie music sort of becomes like background noise. I rarely will pick up on it when I'm watching a film.
That. With a lot of new stuff as well.
It just becomes like I just don't notice it, right? Yeah. Like I probably would if it was taken away, but whilst I'm watching the movie, it just fades into like I don't really hear the tracks between the main theme and the end of the movie, right?
Yeah. It depends, because it's like sometimes it's just there because it's like action sequence or whimsical, and like I get that, but like Twin Peaks, right? Like that has a lot of very iconic, music, and a lot of like the scenes are attributed to specific characters. For example, like Laura Palmer's theme for so. Depending on the composer, they can definitely do a really good job at like making something really iconic, even if it's just a throwaway scene, right? But this one, there were moments of like, wow, that's a really cool theme. And then like other moments where it's like, this sounds really odd and like what are you doing to the synthesizer? It sounds really odd. Like I don't know what I'm hearing right now.
It takes you out of the moment as well, like when it doesn't fit. When it's not fitting, when it's just some guy mashing around on a keyboard, it's like, okay, well, I'm paying attention to that more than the scene
what's happening
itself, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, I love when I can actually hear the music in a film and I get into it.
It's part of it, right? Like it's essential. I feel like again, my memory's not 100% the best on it, but I feel like in T2 it's a lot better. Again, like it's just like
I think it
has
is
that moment and it blends really well. And there's they use the motifs for each character really well and everything else.
Well, there's also the fact that like, yes, you know, depending on where in somebody's career, like this guy Brad, you know, he did Terminator 2, right? He did the music for that. So there's a big gap between 1984 and 1991. Skills developed just
he had
like...
some piano lessons.
He had some lessons. And but yeah, I think it was better in that. But yeah, I agree that it was a bit weird at times and misplaced and didn't feel very
That's why
apropos.
I wanted to ask you about it. I think that's hilarious. Brilliant.
Well, because I looked over at Joe, I was like, what's going on with the music in this scene? It's so weird. And it took me out of it sometimes.
Yeah. For sure.
But yeah, we'll move on to final thoughts on Terminator. So we'll start with our honored guest.
Oh,
Mark.
Thank you. I feel like I align with Booth a lot on this film because, you know, I think that it is the start of something great. I think it leads us to Terminator 2, which is one of the greatest, in my opinion, it's one of the greatest cinema films of like, you know, it is one of the most quintessential action movies of all time.
Yeah.
As a film on its own, though, The Terminator has a lot of promise with a great premise, with cool concepts, but I feel like the vast majority of the film fails to deliver on that. The last section, sort of the last act, is definitely the most interesting to me. The middle is very sloggy. It's very like all over the place. A lot of like just exposition told through dialogue. And that's where it kind of feels a little bit weaker. But I think that what it does do is its use of practical effects, especially for its time and budget, excellent. It creates a legacy which can then be built upon, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that that's really what stands out to me. You know, Arnold is, you know, very early and again in his career, very well suited to the role of the T-800, like this just, or T-100, just this absolute, you know, emotionless killing machine. You know, Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor, again, iconic. You know, this is one of the roles that would then again go on, and Michael Biehn as Carl Reese is amazing. And yeah, like, and it did, you know, it gave us some you know, it gave us I'll Be Back, you know, how, you know, a film that like launched literally a catchphrase that would last most of my childhood throughout the 80s and 90s, you know, and is still quoted to this day. Yes. So I think that it is, as a movie on its own,
right? Hasta la vista,
Hasta la
baby.
Vista, I'll Be Back.
Yeah.
You know, it's for me, it's as a film on its own, quite weak, but what it represents and what it leads to is something greater than itself.
What would you rate it out of 10?
Out of 10, I would probably give it mainly through the sort of premise and the third act. I would maybe give it a 6.5, I think, like a 6 or a 6.5. Good, but a lot to build upon. Do you know what I mean? That's my view.
I'm very eloquently put.
Thank you.
Biff?
I was debating this, and I still debate it to this very day, because the positives that I take out of it are basically the practical effects and the end, you know, the third part of where he's actually in the factory sort of bits. It's more scary, it's more perilous, but it's not something that I vibe with, even as a franchise. I just don't really, it's not really my sort of thing. The music's hilarious, and it's something that I've grown with throughout my teens and my 20s and whatever. And people put it on and I'm like, okay, great, it's a thing, but it's not a very important thing to me. So I give it a 4.5 out of 10 because I'm sort of like, I don't really get it, and that's fine, you know. I'm cool with that, and
that's totally fine. Yeah,
you live your truth, Booth. You live your truth.
Exactly. It doesn't make sense to me. And that my brain is wired in a completely different way. That it's just not so. Like Mark said, like I wanna come out of something feeling something positive, and I just felt like I feel like it's a waste of time.
Fair enough.
What about you, G?
Yeah, I think it's like what Mark said about really good foundation laying. It's like with a TV series, right? The first season or the first few episodes are always going to be a bit slow because of character development, establishment, building, yada yada, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with this, a lot of good foundation, interesting character. Like I like Sarah Connor, I like Kyle Reese, and the premise is cool. I like the sci-fi stuff very much. I like the cyborg, as human type element and machines, like with the Matrix, they're going to take over and etc. All that kind of stuff. It's very cool and I like it a lot. And it's still grounded in reality in the sense that because some of the issues I have with these kinds of films is they go a bit too, I don't know how to describe it correctly, like fantastical, right? And I like that this still has a lot of like in LA, and you've got it shows you the flashbacks, but I don't want to see too much of it, right? Because
you
it just
becomes
it's
grounded.
It does feel grounded, and like I know it sounds naff, but it does weirdly feel grounded, and I think that's what I like about a lot of 80s and 90s films compared to today, where a lot of films today feel very synthetic.
They do.
And they don't, and they feel very plasticky at times. And then you've got like 80s and 90s and stuff like that. Like the films feel real to me.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is. And I don't know if it's because it's filmed on actual film and because of the practical effects and whatever, or because I lived through the 90s and whatever have you. But it feels grounded. And yeah, there's a lot left to be desired that they did go on to make a lot better in T2. But yeah, it's probably a 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it feels like a 7 to me. It's really good, really entertaining. There were a couple, slower moments that kind of slogged on a little bit, but very, very, pretty iconic film and leading on to 2 as well. So I liked it. I did like it.
Cool. Do you want some facts? Do you want some little bits of triv before we go away?
Let's
bit of triv. I love a triv.
We'll triv. Because we all love a little bit of trivia, don't we?
Yeah.
Boof, please tell me your trivia about my movie, The Terminator.
Well, you worked with guns every day for a month to prepare for this role, Arnie.
That's correct. Yeah,
the first 2 weeks of
I
filming,
did.
you practiced weapons stripping and reassembly blindfolded until the motions were automatic, like a machine. He spent hours at the shooting range and practicing with different weapons without blinking or looking at them when reloading or cocking. He also had to be ambidextrous, and he practiced different moves up to 50 times. So that's fucking cool.
I was very committed. I was very committed to the role.
I can tell.
I wanted to really represent the killing machine.
Emphasis on the machine.
Machine.
So the puppet of Arnold's face took 6 months to create.
Oh my god! And then you gotta hope you get that shot right? Like they spent all that time making that, and then it's like, oh, we gotta shoot it now.
Yeah, which I think is awesome. Like far out, man. 6 months. It reminds me of like in the Matrix. I can't remember if it's 1 or 2. The clones of Smith. You know how there's like a whole line of him, like on either side, and there's like loads. They actually made those.
Oh wow!
Like that's not CGI. They're
like duplicates.
Yeah, and I'm thinking,
cool.
Jesus Christ, that is dedication.
Love it.
Yeah. One afternoon during a break in filming, Arnold Schwarzenegger went into a restaurant in downtown LA to get some lunch and realised all too late that he was still in Terminator makeup with a missing eye, exposed jawbone and burned flesh. Completely normal in LA.
Very much like a sandwich. I need your mayo, your bread, and your salami meats.
The crew made t-shirts saying, "You can't scare me, I work for James Cameron."
Oh my god.
I want one of those.
Wow. I want that shirt. Yeah. Can we get those?
So apparently he had his eyebrows insured at Lloyd's of London as he feared that they might not grow back properly after he shaved them for the scene where he runs over a car on fire in the alley.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I think they did grow back, right?
I was going to say, Arnie, why do you think your eyebrows wouldn't grow back?
Well, yeah. I think actors are very
worried about that stuff.
Yeah, really, because Hollywood is weird about that stuff.
It would ruin your career, right?
Yeah, Hollywood is really weird and really shallow and picky when it comes to that kind of stuff. You know, it takes nothing at all. Like a director could be like, "Oh, I don't like." The way her fucking mouth does this when she talks. And it could be something as dumb as that.
Not having eyebrows.
I've got a really good fact here. 2 deleted scenes gave Skynet and the Future War some more background. The first was a scene where Sarah locates the Cyberdyne company that will be responsible for building Skynet and the Terminators. She tries to convince Reese that they should destroy their building in order to prevent the dark future from ever happening, but Reese tells her that his mission is conserving the future, not changing it. Bullshit.
Okay.
The second scene shows that Cyberdyne owns the factory where Sarah battled the Terminator, and that one of their employees finds the Terminator's microchip, which actually causes Skynet to exist in the first place.
That is it. That is because that's the point in plot in T2. That's
T2,
the
they took it in there. The scenes were originally part of a larger subplot where Sarah and Kyle eventually agreed to blow up Cyberdyne, which is why they were making bombs in the first place. Ending up inside the Cyberdyne factory while on the run from Terminator wasn't total coincidence.
That's
they were purposely
awesome.
heading that way to destroy it. So that's why they were there in the first place. And then it became major plot points for the sequel instead. So he cut the scenes because he wanted to leave some questions yet unanswered, which he never regretted, as he could make an entire sequel out of the unused ideas.
I mean,
and honestly, even from my experience, doing D&D campaigns, that is often the best thing. You don't want everything to have an answer, because then audiences start to theorize about it, and then you can be like, "Oh, that's a really good idea." I didn't think about that.
And also, it's you don't want everything answered. You want people to be like, "I want more of that."
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
I think there was something else about how oh no, this is for the second one. I'm going to say it anyway because I think it's still pretty cool. So they made a shotgun, or you know how you cock it back and it flicks back into place when you're reloading it. So they made one specifically for him in the second one, and
where he does the famous
the flip,
the one-handed reload.
Yeah. I thought that was awesome, because usually with a gun like that, you gotta back and forth, right? But the way he was reloading it with one hand, he could whip it around 360. And he was trying to do it without that mechanism, and it he almost broke his wrist apparently. So
yeah,
I thought that was
that's
really
cool.
Yeah,
love it.
But yeah, I think we talked about budget and box office before, but I think that about bloody does it.
There's so much trivia. There's so many cool facts.
Ton of trivia for this.
The fog in the scene after Stir and Reese leave the bridge where they spent the night is actually bug spray due to the big fly scare in the filming location at the time.
Oh my god.
The crew was going to wait until the spray dissipated, but they decided to use it as fog for the effect instead. Oh my god!
Damn, God,
freaking
Hollywood's
spray.
Crazy. Yeah,
you just gotta make things. You gotta do things that Arnold Schwarzenegger allegedly delayed the start of the filming by 2 days by insisting that the custom-made leather jacket wasn't manly enough.
It sounds like early Arnie would say something like that for sure.
Yeah, it's not manly enough. Could you make
it's
it
not
more
manly enough. I need to look more masculine.
Put some chains on it or something. I don't know what manly is. Put some spikes
studs
in there. Could you draw a penis on it maybe? Make it look manly. I want to
Nothing screams
I want to
masculinity
have
like an erect
a
penis.
giant penis on my jacket so it feels like I am coming. I get the pleasure of when I am pumping my muscles. It is like I'm making love to a woman.
Terminator is an allegory for manliness and lovemaking. As the Terminator, I'm going to wipe out the mother of all time, and the patriarchy takes over.
That's it.
The Barbie movie.
It is a Barbie movie, just again. Fantastic.
Love it.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me for this lovely
so
chat.
Much fun. Oh my god. Mark
I love a good
Humes
chat.
is he does High Rollers D&D.
Right. I do a lot of Dungeons and Dragons and things like that in many places, but High Rolls is the best place to find me.
Yes.
Or, occasionally you'll see me with, people like G. We play a silly game with our pals at the Yogscast.
Oh, that's true.
And that's about it.
The Terminator only has 21 minutes of screen time.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, and he doesn't feel like it, does it? It's like...
No, it feels like he's in it a lot more.
Way more.
Yeah.
I'm still scrolling through all these things. It's like...
Well, it was like with the second Beetlejuice movie. Apparently, he's not really in it that much at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
gosh,
find that really crazy.
I still need to edit that, G.
Oh, Jesus. I forgot about that.
Me and G did a podcast last year about Beetlejuice, and I was like, I can get this out. No problem. Editing podcasts is no fucking joke, guys.
It's no fucking joke.
Shout out to our editors. Jeez.
Shout out to Noah. Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, editing is a hateful task.
It really
is.
Blessed be the editors who do it for us, because fuck that.
Based.
So we're going to roll a dice for the next movie, which you don't have to watch, but it'll be one of my picks for the next one, you see. Do you want to know what's on my list, kids?
Yeah, what's on your list?
I've added something, you see, because obviously I had to take Dreamscape off because we watched that.
Yeah.
So we've got Dead Heat, right? Then we've got Total Recall. That's still on the list. Napoleon Dynamite, Santa Sangre, Shallow Hal, and The Fog. So Dead Heat, by the way. Oh, I fucking love it. This is the 1988 Dead Heat.
Yeah, I found it.
A cop is killed investigating a strange case of resurrected corpses.
Classic.
His partner and pathologist.
This is the Heat movie that Booth wishes he was.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone dies and then gets resurrected. But he has a limited time before he starts decomposing. He uses it to chase down the diabolical man who killed him. It's a fucking silly, it's a stupid film. I love it. It's got Joe Piscopo and Treat Williams. I wish my name was Treat. I'm going to change my name.
I've never heard anybody with the name Treat.
Treat Williams.
My vet yesterday that I went to see was called Tudor. And... my God, what a cool name.
Tudor.
Vincent Price is in this as well.
Tudor. The name's Tudor.
It's pronounced Tudor. So let's roll a dice. Okay, we've got this little link to a dice, and I'm just going to roll a six-sided dice.
Big fan of a dice. I'm a big fan of rolling a d6.
Oh, I love a dice.
I love a dice.
And this is just a dice that's on the internet. It's on a page on the internet because I do have a dice here actually, but I don't trust my own dice rolling skills. I'm not very good at it. Mark knows this.
You don't have. You have never been the problem in any game I've played.
Oh, well, thank you. It's a 6, which means we are watching The Fog. I'm excited. That'll be the next time. I'm writing that down because I will forget.
Ah, John Carpenter.
It's a Johnny Carpy.
Oh,
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes!
Jamie Lee Curtis.
So
That's
at least
awesome.
I'm still in G's good books for this one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cracking stuff. Thank you so much for joining us, Mark. Thank you, G.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you, me.
Thank you as well. Thank you for inviting me to talk about my film, The Terminator.
Annie, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for making this film.
You didn't invite me to come
Shut
and
up,
talk about
Sly.
my films.
Get fucked. I loved you in Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.